Coetzee still can't believe how Here's another shot. Let's look at this man again. He is described as a white male. He has very blue eyes. He has very short blonde hair as well. He's around 30 to 35 years old, about 5 feet 8 inches tall. He was last seen wearing a white pullover t-shirt and tan shorts. And he was also driving off in a faded station wagon. If you have any information who this man might be, you should call Volusia Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-888-277-TIPS. Again, that number is 1-888-277-TIPS. Reporting live from Deltona, Dennison Keller, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Dennison, and we apologize for the technical problem there. A second student has died tonight following yesterday's high school shooting in Springfield, Oregon. The 15-year-old suspect, Kip Kinkle, is making his first appearance in court this afternoon. He's accused of opening fire yesterday, killing 2 students, and wounding 22 others. He's also accused of killing his parents. But under Oregon law, he cannot face the death penalty. Those kind of tragedies are factors in why many families are looking for alternatives right now to traditional schools. And one of the options is growing in popularity: homeschooling, especially here in Central Florida. Channel 9's Vanessa Eccles has the story.
Take this finger and point.
The school day starts shortly after sunrise in the Snavely home, and for the rest of the school day, there's a quiet, peaceful classroom setting.
Let me know if you need any help.
It's exactly what Barbie Snavely says she and her husband had in mind when she began homeschooling her first child about 6 years ago. Barbie says she brings a unique perspective to watching scenes from the most recent deadly school shooting. She says her heart goes out to the victims' families, yet there's also a sense of relief that this isn't an issue she deals with at home.
First, you just feel such compassion for those families, and I'm sure if I was sending my children off on the school bus, I would feel just a little bit fearful for their safety, and I'm sure that a lot of parents struggle with that.
In fact, in a recent survey of Florida families who homeschool, some of them actually listed concerns about violence and security as reasons why they don't send their children outside the home to public or private schools. The Department of Education surveyed nearly 15,000 homeschool families in Florida. 42% said their number one reason for homeschooling was concern about safety, drugs, and peer pressure in public schools. Barbie says those weren't the initial reasons she and her husband chose homeschooling, but she understands now why so many parents do. Vanessa Eccles, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Now, the State Department of Education reports there are at least 25,000 children being homeschooled here in Florida.
2 7-year-old boys who vandalized their neighbor's house will have felony records for the rest of their lives. The state attorney's office has decided to file burglary and criminal mischief charges against James Fruit and Jonathan Nadreau. The boys are blamed for causing more than $40,000 in damages at the home. A 5-year-old who was with them will not be charged. A Florida Highway Patrol trooper gunned down in the line of duty was laid to rest today. Officers from all over Florida attended services for 23-year-old James Crooks. Crooks and 2 Tampa detectives were killed Tuesday during a 3-county crime spree. A combined service for the 2 detectives will be held in Tampa tomorrow.
It's not the Indy 500, but thousands of people have started their engines tonight, and they're heading out for what may be Memorial Day mayhem. Many of them will be heading to the beaches or other vacation spots, and this is a live picture right now of some of the traffic as seen live from our SkyZoom 9 camera over I-4 out near Disney. And while you're on the road, you better buckle up because it could be expensive if you don't. More than 140 law enforcement agencies across the state are cracking down on people who don't use their seatbelts. It's called Operation Beltway, and it runs through next Thursday. In Orange County, a seatbelt citation can cost you $38, and failing to use a child safety seat could set you back another $72.
Or a sinkhole is swallowing up part of Interstate 10 tonight. The hole opened up between Tallahassee and the I-75 interchange. So far, I-10 eastbound is down to 1 lane. Not good news for holiday travelers.
No comment. That's the word tonight from lawyers representing the Fern Park Developmental Center. Yesterday, the State Attorney General filed suit against the center, a claim alleging it mistreats patients and has overbilled the government for services. Privately, employees and some clients' families call those accusations unfair. FBI agents are hoping to close in tonight on the vandals responsible for a string of recent attacks on Florida abortion clinics. Last week, 3 locations in Florida were targeted, and within the last 48 hours, the vandals struck again, this time in Miami. Agents there are now interviewing witnesses, trying to draw a composite of the suspect. Channel 9's Tamsin Fidel has an update on the situation.
All 3 abortion clinics here in Orlando will be under tight security as this weekend approaches. It's been 1 week since this clinic here in Orlando was hit with butyric acid. Also, 2 Volusia County clinics were hit the same weekend, but there have been more problems since then. On Thursday night, this time it happened in Miami at 5 different locations. At this point, the FBI is getting involved. They say the same type of acid was used in all of the attacks. However, back here in Orlando, every time this clinic shuts its doors or any of the clinics shut their doors, police will be here making sure we don't have the same situation as we did last weekend. Reporting in Orlando, Tamsin Fidel, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Well, we've heard so much about students who get violent in school, but you wouldn't expect a kindergarten teacher to plan violence.
A shocking revelation in an exclusive story coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.
And I hope you like the sunshine here in Central Florida because it is definitely going to be around for quite some time. Latest satellite picture, visible satellite picture showing a few clouds down across South Florida, but nothing here in Central Florida. Temperatures right now are mainly in the 90s, lots of air traffic across Central Florida, and a big travel weekend. We'll have the forecast coming up.
This is Steve Triggs in Orange County. SWAT team members practice less lethal methods of ending a standoff. That story coming up on Eyewitness News.
So, how often you see this guy in here?
About every 100 laps.
Really? Ford Escort goes 100,000 miles before first scheduled tune-up. How many laps is that? About a gajillion?
If you say so.
Ooh, and there's one over there.
Nice.
Ooh, great deal, too. Look at all the stickers.
Get $1,500 cash back or as low as 1.9 APR on a 98 Escort or ZX2.
Did that have an integrated child safety seat? Escort does.
See your local Southern Ford dealer for great deals on Escort and ZX2.
If this house could talk, it wouldn't tell you about the custom cabinets in each Fleetwood home, but about Coco and heart-to-heart talks. It wouldn't go on about our wall-to-wall warranty, but about afternoons with the Sunday paper. It wouldn't mention the craftsmen who make every inch right. It'd tell you about kids growing 2 inches in a year. Because at Fleetwood, we know the quality that counts most in a home is the quality of life inside. Fleetwood Homes, quality for life. See your Fleetwood Homes retailer.
This is the weekend to save. It's New York Carpet World's Mega Memorial Day Sale. Through Monday, save 5 to 50% store-wide. Carpet after carpet. Hundreds of Berber, Saxony's textures completely installed with pad. 5 to 50% off. Floor after floor. Wood, laminate, vinyl, ceramic. Our lowest holiday prices. Rug after rug. Every size and pattern on sale. Plus, make no payment, pay no interest till January 99. It's the Mega Memorial Day Sale at New York Carpet World. 5 to 50% off store-wide through Monday only.
Our Memorial Weekend sale is going on right now this Friday at Toyota of Orlando on West Colonial Drive. You can buy a brand new 98 Tacoma for just $95.88.
And you know that's our lowest price all year. Brand new Tacoma starting at $95.88 right now this Friday, all day tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday Memorial Day. We have new Tacomas with automatic and air at $11,588, 10 at that price. New Tacoma extra cabs with air conditioning at $13,588, 15 at that price. 50 in-stock 4Runners ready for immediate delivery. Just call us right now at 298-4500, Toyota of Orlando.
SWAT teams around the state are learning how to use new weapons. They are called less lethal because they can end a violent situation without killing the suspect. Steve Triggs joined SWAT training in Orange County today.
The Daytona Beach SWAT team ended a recent standoff with a flash and a bang. Everyone, including the suspect, emerged uninjured. Here at the Orange County Sheriff's Range, SWAT team members practice using explosive distraction devices.
It prevents countless number of shootings every year. In fact, in the history of Orange County, we've only had to use deadly force a couple of occasions in the history of our team, which is over 22 years, and this is the reason we don't have to do that more often.
Here are some other weapons that can end a crisis without real bullets. The Sage Gun fires a rubber pellet that's designed to stun, not kill. 2 years ago, Mike Atwood used bean bags to bring down this man who was holding a toddler hostage.
What we found is it neutralizes the person, incapacitates him, especially when he's thinking it's going to be a real round hitting him, especially when he sees the shotgun pointed at him.
All of these less lethal devices are supposed to buy SWAT team members precious seconds, and usually that's all the advantage these guys need. In Orange County, Steve Trakes, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Although negotiations and less lethal weapons are the SWAT team's first choices, they always have deadly weapons ready.
Are you looking for a weekend that's out of this world? Well, NASA has just the trip for you. No, you don't go into orbit. Today is Space Week, today begins Space Week, and Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center has some special attractions. Apollo and shuttle astronauts are making appearances, including Buzz Aldrin, who will be there on Monday. Tomorrow is Star Trek Day, which will feature stars from all three Star Trek generations.
Well, the Memorial Day weekend is here. Will hot and dry rule the day? Here's what it looks like right now from our live Sky Zoom 9 camera aboard Sky Witness. Hey, zooming in on a hotel swimming pool. People beating the heat on I-Drive. Meteorologist Glenn Richards has the complete forecast coming up.
Oh, that looks nice. But what causes area attractions to actually add to the problem of air pollution? We'll have the answer next.
This is Imagine TV.
Let's surf the news.
With low 1.9% APR plus $19.75 in total savings, Mercury Mountaineer gives you a mega-size interior, formidable V8 power, and a bold new look.
This just in. Cougar loose on the streets of the city. Let's go live.
Till next time, imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Classic elegance, comfort and style.
Scan Design. Teak, rosewood, Scan Design. Clean, contemporary, leather, simplicity and function. Scan Design. Classic, craftsmanship.
This weekend, Scan Design presents our Memorial Day extravaganza. Great values plus 6 months, no interest and no payments. Scan Design in Altamont Springs and beautiful Winter Park.
Time together. Just the two of you? What a concept. Time to share some old stories. To make some new memories. The trick, of course, is how do you find the time? Well, until someone figures out how to put more hours in a day, maybe we can give them to you with all the time you can save.
While you're at the marketplace, Winn-Dixie Marketplace.
Isn't life delicious?
This is the new Trans Am, and it's very hungry. The muscle car lives. The new Firebird Trans Am by Pontiac.
See your Central Florida Pontiac dealers today.
Eyewitness Weather is brought to you by Webster Leather.
Memorial Day weekend is usually a good time to be outdoors, whether it's on the beach, at a picnic, or taking in a theme park. But this weekend, we'll be undercover because of a smog advisory, and theme parks may be part of the problem. Channel 9's Tamsen Fidel explains.
The Memorial Day weekend is officially here, but it's come at a time when many are worried, especially in certain areas, about being outside due to the smog advisory that's been in effect for at least the last 3 days. Now, one area in particular where traffic flow is the heaviest is Osceola County, with all the theme parks that have been popping up. This is one area which actually hit the unhealthy category in terms of ozone levels. This week especially, now that tourists are making their way south.
With all the growth in transportation that's going on primarily in the Kissimmee area, we can expect for the air quality levels to go a little higher.
That's because automobile emissions are the #1 contributor of high ozone levels in Central Florida. Any adults or children who already have breathing problems are being told to try to stay indoors as much as possible. Now, with the holiday weekend approaching, many people are hitting the highways and coming to Central Florida to take in theme parks, thus putting more automobiles on the road. Reporting in Osceola County, Tamsen Fidel, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Well, it's too bad we can't pump all the ozone into the upper atmosphere where it's needed.
And you can pretty much guess what the weather forecast is going to be this weekend, but let's get the official word.
Yeah, let's not guess about it. Glenn?
Also, okay, I'm not going to guess.
No.
All right. Looks like for us, though, our smog advisory will continue at least through Tuesday. And yes, no guessing in this forecast. Hot and, yes, smoggy here in Central Florida. Latest on the live early warning Doppler 9000 radar network. No rain here in Central Florida, looking good. Latest on the radar, not picking up any rain, and it appears that our dry weather will continue as we head throughout this upcoming weekend. Sky Vision 9, looking to the north from downtown Orlando, nothing to be seen here except for the heavy traffic flow across the I-4 corridor, and it looks like the very nasty weather will continue here in Central Florida right through the weekend. The reason for it is a big bubble of high pressures over the eastern U.S. Take a look at what's going on out here in the western U.S. Look at this big spin. This is important for our long-term forecasts, and the long-term weather forecast computers are picking up on it. Basically, what they're saying right now is that we have this big storm, this big low spinning around, and as long as it sits there, we're pretty much stuck in a rut, and that means more and more warmth, more haze, and more sunshine will continue to move into Central Florida. For the next 10 days, the computers are saying rain will be found across the Midwest. No rain here. And for us, temperatures remain in the 90s. That's the reason for that smog advisory continuing through Tuesday of next week. 92 degrees, our current temperature. Humidity, actually not too bad for this time of the year. We need more humidity to produce some more afternoon clouds and maybe even a few thunderstorms. 70 degrees in Orlando for tonight. The low, 69 over in Tampa, 70 degrees up towards Ocala for your Saturday. Mostly sunny skies, hazy, hot, and definitely on the smoggy side with a high temperature tomorrow getting back up to around 92 to 93 degrees, and a few locations could top out near 95 with a heat index approaching 100. For the boaters tomorrow, winds will be out of the southwest at 10 knots. The water temperature off the coast of Daytona Beach is now at 77 degrees. Your 5-day forecast, no rain in sight, possibly by Thursday and Friday of next week. It's a shame we have to talk about it in that many days, but not until around Thursday or Friday. That'll be our next chance for some afternoon thunderstorms. We'll have the 7-day forecast coming up at 6 o'clock.
All right, we'll see you then.
Okay.
Thanks, Glenn. Well, the weekend's getting off to an exhausting start for some local firefighters. It wasn't easy battling the heat from this stubborn brush fire, and we'll have the full story later on Eyewitness News.
Still to come at 5:30. If you're going to venture into the great outdoors this weekend, we have a warning for you about some of the wildlife.
Nine Investigates keep you informed. Child molesters luring your children into danger. We showed you their tricks.
I can't believe they're all going.
9 Investigates exposes serious breakdowns in the Department of Children and Family Services. We uncover the truth.
What's this person doing with that kind of power?
9 Investigates your children riding in dangerous and illegal passenger vans. We warned you.
They are nothing more than tin cans on wheels.
9 Investigates, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, Central Florida's news leader. It's Galen Blackford's 10th annual Beach Bash Blowout. Now through Memorial Day, every new and used vehicle will be discounted for this beach party. Don't drive to the beach, drive to Apopka and get a boatload of savings up to $8,000. Choose from a sea of new Ford cars, trucks, vans, sport utilities, plus over $2 million in used vehicles, all clearly marked. Don't miss Galen Black's 10th annual Beach Bash. Now through Memorial Day, open Sunday 12 to 6 p.m. at Galen Black Ford, Highway 436, Apopka.
Nestle Drumstick Supreme starts out a little differently than our original Nestle Drumstick.
The best is yet to come. Babe, won't it be fun?
But as you move from the crown of vanilla, then strawberry ice cream,
The best is yet to come.
through the swirl of strawberry sauce in a crispy cone, it still has the same happy ending.
Baby, be mine.
Nestle Drumstick Supreme, good the whole way through.
The 98 Civic Coupe, when you want to change the rules. And now you can get 3.9% APR for 36 or 48 months on all 98 Civics.
If you have a story you want to see on Eyewitness News, call 407-841-NEWS.
Hi, everybody. Aside from, boy, is it getting hot, isn't it? The next question I usually get is, do you think Penny Hardaway will ever play for the Magic again? Well, only Penny, General Manager John Gabriel, and Team President Bob Vanderwide can answer that question for certain, but Today, Penny was at the RDV Sportsplex. He is continuing his rehabilitation of the knee injury that kept him out of the majority of this past season. He says he is still bouncing from Orlando to Birmingham, Alabama, which is where Dr. James Andrews practices. Andrews is helping Penny with the magic and the rehab. Now, a lot of fans are probably still a bit ticked off that Penny did not play down the stretch to help the team, but he says there is a very good reason for that.
And I didn't even know it was as bad as it was, because this is like been going on for a very long time, and I just put it together from being hurt for a year and a half before I even had the first surgery, just thinking it was going to go away, and I think that's what really tore my knee up pretty good.
The team also brought in its first possible draft picks to town today for workouts, included among them former Florida Gator Jason Williams, and we will hear from him coming up at 6 o'clock. Now, the ball isn't orange, but still plenty of running and jumping going on in Daytona Beach this weekend. It's the Coppertone Pro Beach Volleyball Stop at the world's most famous beach. The best in the world at beach volleyball on hand, digging and spiking, and that includes Karch Kiraly, greatest player the sport has seen. He has won nearly $3 million playing volleyball on the beach.
I have a really fierce desire and love to compete and try to be the best on any given weekend. Every time we're sitting next to somebody on the plane out here, they say, well, what do you do? And I say, well, I play volleyball professionally on the beach. And they say, well, what other job do you do? And I said, that's my job. And they just kind of say, God, what a life you have.
Yeah, it's a tough job, but somebody has to do it.
And somebody has to cover him doing it.
Yes, and that would be me. Thank goodness.
Tough job, right? Thanks, Glenn. Well, Florida has 5 new specialty license tags, bringing the total number of choices to 50. Here are the new ones: Keep Kids Drug-Free, Everglades River Grass, Sheriff's Youth Ranches, Berry University, and Protect Wild Dolphins. Just giving you a moment there to take those in. Make your choices.
It takes a while to absorb all that information. Local high school students may be on edge tonight, and not just because of graduation. They're worried about gang violence. The full story at 6 o'clock.
If you see your tax dollars being wasted, call our whistleblower hotline at 841-8990.
And don't go out in the wild without hearing this warning about the animals. Stay with us for more on Eyewitness News.
Tonight's winning WFTV Watch and Win sweepstakes number is 9171229. Stay tuned for your next Watch and Win number coming up in the next 30 minutes.
This Memorial weekend, you can buy a brand new 98 Camry for just $16,988 at Toyota of Orlando.
And that's with automatic air, power windows, power locks, and more at 10 at that price at Toyota of Orlando.
Join us this weekend live during Eyewitness News Daybreak at Recreational Factory Warehouse during the world's largest Memorial Day pool and spa sale ever.
Express yourself. Express yourself. I'll do it. I'll do it. Do it to it. Go on and do it. Y'all do it. Yeah.
You've waited long enough for the Ross Memorial Day clearance. Thousands of new markdowns throughout the store. The Ross Memorial Day clearance now.
Steak, burgers, and milkshakes. Good enough to name a restaurant after. Thinking of a hand-dipped milkshake? You are now.
There are 2 ways to get your sandwich made to order. 1, at a fast food place, look for the empty ramp and order what isn't in it. Or 2, drive over to Steak and Shake and get anything you want.
Steak and Shake, made to order.
Jimmy Bryan Honda is the home of volume selling. We sell more, so you save more. Here's a great example. Right now, you can get a 98 Civic LX with air, automatic, power windows unlocks, and much, much more. And look at this. You can drive that 98 Civic LX for $99 down and only $99 a month. That's right, $99 down, $99 a month. Shop by phone. Give us a call at 1-800-NEW-HONDA or come see us. We're on Highway 1792 in Longwood. And remember, if Jimmy Bryan Honda's not on the back of your vehicle, you paid too much.
Here's a warning tonight. If you're going camping this holiday weekend, or even if you're just planning to go out into your backyard, don't go near the wild animals.
So far this year, Orange County officials have captured 10 rabid raccoons, and other parts of the state are having rabies problems too. Channel 9's Greg Wormuth has the story.
Scott and Jerry English learned a painful lesson about a month ago and are still paying for it today.
Got right here, and right here is his teeth marks.
Both were bitten several times by a rabid raccoon that their dog picked up right in their backyard.
And it chomped down on his finger, stuck his whole finger in his mouth, chomped it down like that. It's lucky it wasn't full grown, and we both would have lost the end of our fingers.
Good, that's the last shot.
That's it.
Number 7.
We're
That's
done.
Like this couple, more Floridians are having to go through a series of rabies shots today. That's because the state health department says there were almost 300 cases last year alone. That's a 125% increase since 1992. Once rabies symptoms emerge in humans, there is no cure.
Rabies is very serious. It can cause a encephalitis in most people, and the outcome is usually not good.
Jerry and Scott say they know better the next time.
Everybody says, stay away, let the dogs handle it.
Yeah,
like,
dog already had his shots.
a little late because we didn't know at the time.
Greg Wormuth, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
Well, you may be interested to know most cases of rabies are found in wild animals such as raccoons, bats, and foxes. And by the way, this is Jerry's second time undergoing rabies treatment. She had the more painful shots in the stomach after being bitten by a dog when she was a child.
Not nearly so bad this time around.
Yeah.
Up next, a very disturbing discovery involving a local kindergarten teacher.
Did she really intend to kill students? An exclusive story next on Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
It's going to be a busy one out there. I'm Steve Olson along I-4. What's in store this Memorial Day holiday weekend? I'll tell you more about that coming up at 6 o'clock. A local woman.
How brave they were. It was 7 o'clock in the morning when cops say 45-year-old Patrick Sochar heard someone ringing his doorbell. When he saw a stranger outside, he decided
they were followed by terrorist attacks overseas by Al-Qaeda.
Solvers asked without question. Checking out security at the largest sporting event this week. We're live at Speed Weeks. Was it murder by Mercedes? A jury decides. We've got the latest. Arnold Schwarzenegger in town, flexing his muscles for your kids. And cameras rolling, a crash caught on.
Ready to come in, my neighbor showed him the gun in his face and said, I don't think so.
The young burglar tried running away. Officers say the suspect ran from this yard over to this yard by jumping over the 6-foot-tall fence. That's when the neighbor next door looked out her window and called for her husband.
He jumped out of bed and ran out the front door and chased him down around the corner.
Lisa Raguso says her husband Edward didn't stop till he got the guy.
He ran, caught up to him in his socks, basically. He told me he just kind of pushed him down on the ground and said, what are you doing?
By then, Patrick ran over to help.
And the two of them walked him back and sat on him, basically, in the end of our driveway until the police came.
They sat on top of Dorian Romero till officers arrived. While the 18-year-old may have been fast, Lisa says she's not surprised that her husband was faster.
He used to run track in high school and college.
Lisa has a new nickname for her hubby.
Neighborhood Crime Watch, Nabber.
She says several homes, including her own, have recently been burglarized. She's proud of both her husband and next-door neighbor.
It's nice to know that, we have neighbors we can count on and vice versa.
And the suspect told police he injured his shoulder when the neighbors caught him. He was taken to the hospital and later arrested. Live in the studio, Valerie Boy, Fox 35 News.
And developing right now, a jury has reached a verdict in the case. Leadership Center here behind me, but most importantly, more than 150,000 children.
They're among society's most vulnerable with their backpacks and books and at buildings with little or no protection. It's enough to make any parent worry.
I mean, it's terrible what they're saying. Get your first aid kit and get duct tape and all the precautions you're supposed to take.
Margaret Rich wants to know if her children's teachers are ready for terror. This man says yes.
In every case, we have a plan on every facility that we educate children.
Rick Harris is a former military planner who now heads up security for Orange County schools like Princeton Elementary, where we found Rich.
I'd like to know, what are we going to do to protect our children? Especially, I worry about the children that are out in the portable classrooms as well.
The structure is one of the considerations that we look at.
Harris says everything's on paper and everyone should be trained. He says the schools are already working with local police and firefighters, with the nation now on high alert.
What the response team is like to take care of the kids. I mean, that's what I want to know.
Everyone has a job, and that's the beauty of the plan. Everyone has a job, and if it goes like we intend it to go, everyone will get done what needs to be done.
Now, I'm told that if parents need to know something, they can always approach their child's teacher or child's principal, and in Orange County, they will find that orange manual in every front office. We're live in downtown Orlando. Gerald Resnick, Local 6.
All right, a lot of parents concerned. Gerald, thank you. As you might imagine, all major national events are under great scrutiny right now, and the largest one this weekend is right here in Central Florida. What's being done to keep race fans safe? Let's check in now with Tarek Miner. Tarek.
Race fans were permitted to drive their cars into the infield last night, but before they were allowed inside, they were searched thoroughly by security personnel. We are 4 days away from the Daytona 500. Security measures are tightening here at the Speedway. The biggest security element here is the one that can't be seen. Authorities in an undercover capacity are monitoring every move.
They opened up every compartment and checked, made sure there was nothing in there that wasn't supposed to be in there.
Mike Sparrow's RV trailer was searched top to bottom last night. It was his 200-pound barbecue that made authorities suspicious.
They had a tarp on it at the time, and it's kind of big, and they had a couple guys go give the once over on that and check it out, make sure there was nothing wrong with that.
Race fans consider the Daytona 500 to be the all-American race. Raising of the American flag. The threat of a terrorist attack is something fans and their families aren't taking lightly.
My wife is scared to death us being over here. She thinks something's going to happen while we're here. We kissed at the airport, and she just told me, hey, don't come back with anthrax.
Speedway security opened the gates of the infield to cars last night. Tonight, they'll begin letting in the RV trailers, which require a more detailed search. Fans are asked to be patient while authorities tighten their net of safety.
I think we're pretty secure, and all the measures that they're taking here and all around the country, I think we're pretty secure.
Professional drivers and pace car drivers have been practicing here at the track all day. Immediately following practice this evening, those RVs will be allowed on the infield. They will be searched, and we're told this process takes about 10 minutes. So with hundreds of RVs, it's a security sweep that could go late into the evening. For now, we're live at the Speedway. I'm Tarek Miner, Local 6.
All right, it'll be a long one, Tarek. Thank you. A controlled burn today, the first of 2 burns on the beach. This one in Satellite along the north half of Hightower Beach Properties. Officials burned back exotic plant life that has the potential to strangle the area and leave little room for animals that call this place home. The southern half will be set on fire tomorrow. A red flag alert has been issued for all of Central Florida. The Division of Forestry says conditions are right for brush fires until sunset tonight and possibly tomorrow. You know what? You couldn't beat today's weather, and now we are looking at temperatures possibly hitting the 80s by the weekend. Let's check in with Tom. Tom, I'm loving this.
I am too, Jackie. Just when you think summertime has arrived, things will change back. They will. But for the moment, 69 degrees here at the Local 6 studio, 60 at Ormond Beach, 69 at Lake Weir. Here's what Jackie was talking about in our future forecast. For the weekend, things are looking good. By Friday, we're going all the way to a high of 78, Saturday 82, and Sunday 80. But look a little farther into the month. By the middle of the month of February, we're down to highs only in the mid-60s. And by the end of the month, maybe highs on the 25th, only 63 degrees. We'll be back in a few minutes to talk about exact temperatures in the next couple of days and what the weekend looks like. There's a chance of rain coming, Jackie. There is.
I know. All right, Tom, thank you. Let's take a look at the roads. It is busy tonight. This is I-4 north of the Wymore Road overpass. Really heating up out there. Slow going. A routine traffic stop in Lake County turns up over 100 pounds of marijuana with an estimated street value at over $100,000. Andres Cardenas of Umatilla arrested yesterday for trafficking. He's being held on $60,000 bond in the Lake County Jail. Border Patrol is also investigating. Cardenas is a resident alien with a prior felony charge. In Bithlo, a construction worker gets
pinned between a roller and a paver at a job site on East Colonial. Airlife was called in and flew the man to ORMC. His right leg was partially severed at the ankle. His left leg nearly cut off at the knee. OSHA is now investigating. A sinkhole swallows a car in Marion County and almost takes a family with it. At a gas station in Dunellen, a woman had just filled her tank up with gas and was driving off when the ground started to give way. She and her 18-year-old son fled from the car with the family dog before the Toyota tipped right over into the hole. The sinkhole grew to 20 by 40 feet and is 40 feet deep. No one was injured, fortunately. Geologists are trying to find an exact cause. Was it murder? Clara Harris, accused of running over her cheating husband, now awaits a jury's decision. Did she use her Mercedes as a weapon, or was it an accident? Bob Fryer's been watching closing arguments from the newsroom and joins us now live. Bob.
Well, Jackie, the jurors were told the other day to pack their bags. They won't be released until a verdict is reached. The question is, what is going to sway these jurors? The testimony that Harris was a loving wife, or the video that shows her Mercedes repeatedly plowing into her husband?
Clara Harris clung to her attorney in court. Now she's clinging to hope as the jury deliberates her fate. The Houston dentist is charged with using her Mercedes-Benz as a murder weapon to mow down her husband. During closing arguments, Harris's attorney said his client loved her successful orthodontist husband, so much so she desperately tried to keep him. She changed her hair color, worked out, and was planning cosmetic surgery.
Audio tapes in a minute. He's happy. She's made arrangements to have liposuction. August the 4th.
The defense says it was all an accident, and the fact that their child was a passenger in the car proves it.
And do you believe for one moment that if Clara Harris had intended to kill David, her husband, that she would have had David's daughter in the car? Never. Would have never happened.
The state said Harris deliberately ran over him again and again when she found him at a hotel with his mistress. A video by a private investigator even caught it on tape, and prosecutors lashed back at the defense's suggestion that the 44-year-old dentist deserved to die because he was cheating on his wife.
Take him to the cleaners. Take his house, take his car, take his kids, take his respect in the community, and you can make him wish he were dead, but you don't get to kill him.
Now, if she is convicted, Harris could spend the rest of her life in prison. However, she could face a lighter sentence if the jury decides on lesser charges. Jackie?
All right, it'll be interesting to watch, Bob. Thank you. Okay. Coming up, evidence that driving on ice is harder than you think. Cameras were rolling. See what they caught next. Who knew what before the Ryder truck exploded? New, startling information that could have prevented the Oklahoma City bombing.
If that's London calling, you can answer in person, real cheap. I'm Stephen Cooper with that Consumer Alert and more coming up.
And the Terminator in town talking to kids. Find out what he had to say next.
Coast-to-coast radar is dry tonight. We're talking cool nights, warm days, good stuff. But when's it going to rain? The Sticks Weather Team forecast is next.
Tonight, desperate to lose weight.
She didn't want to be heavy.
Willing to do anything to be thin.
She had tried everything she could to lose weight.
And thousands just like her turn to what has become a popular yet controversial surgery.
She thought that was her only option.
Now, a local mother speaks out about the procedure and the daughter she loved.
One time she said to me, "Mom, what have I done to myself?" That was not too long before she died.
Is it worth the risk? A Local 6 exclusive tonight at 11.
You know, there's no better way to spend President's Day than being face-to-face with one. I'm talking about cash here, my friends. This weekend, get up to $2,000 cash back on Toyota's most popular models, like the Tundra we just showed you, or the Highlander, or maybe this Camry, Tacoma, Matrix. That's up to $2,000 cash back, or 2,000 Washingtons, or 20 Benjamins, or, well, you get the point. So visit your local Toyota dealer, or buy at Toyota.com today.
Did you know you may be entitled to overtime pay for every hour worked over 40 hours per week, whether you are an hourly or salaried employee? You may be able to claim all overtime worked over the past 2 years from your current or previous employers, and you may be entitled up to 2 times the amount of your employment claim. Your employer cannot fire you solely for filing an employment claim. You work hard, you play by the rules, so should your employer. Call toll-free 888-PANTAS-LAW for your free consultation, where you get straight talk all the time.
The time is now. Cane's 420-minute sale is here. This Wednesday, we'll be closed until 5 p.m. in order to mark down prices. We will reopen from 5 till midnight with incredible savings. Save $270 on this 5-piece contemporary living room, just $9.99. Save $100 on this 5-piece imported Italian lacquer bedroom, just $6.99. Plus, there's no down payment, no payments, and no interest until next year. The time to save is now. Cane's 420-minute sale this Wednesday from 5 p.m. till midnight.
When you need a car, truck or van, who are you gonna call? Call Courtesy! Call Courtesy! For the lowest price! Who you gonna call? In the land! Call Courtesy! Who you gonna call? Call Courtesy! Call Courtesy! Who you gonna call? Call Courtesy! Call
Courtesy, baby! The best prices in the land.
Voted best newscast in all of Florida. You're watching Local 6 News at 5:30.
Here's case in point why driving on ice is so dangerous. That's an SUV slamming into an Illinois state trooper this morning. This is the Eisenhower Expressway, which closed right after this crash for 8 miles because of the ice. The officer was working another accident scene at the time. New evidence tonight that the Oklahoma City bombing could have been prevented. Newly released government documents indicate the FBI and the ATF bureaus were aware of a plot by white supremacists, but failed to pass the information on to their superiors. 160 people died in the explosion. Near whiteout conditions in Minnesota, what a mess. A blizzard hit overnight and continues to blast the north right now. Roads are clogged or closed. In some areas, visibility was less than a quarter of a mile.
It was a fast-moving storm.
Was it a quick one?
Very quick. And in Milwaukee, they picked up better than 3 inches in 45 minutes. It's like, boom, in and out, quick.
Just another reason not to live in Minnesota.
Do we have it made here or what?
I know. They suffer. Look at the poor guy. The poor guy walking, blowing around.
Yeah, he's not dressed well enough. I can tell from here. I'm 1,000 miles away, and I can tell he doesn't have enough
layers.
Yeah. Got to layer up.
Good stuff.
Take a look at how we turned out today. While the folks up in Milwaukee, Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago, we're all suffering here at home. We hit 72 degrees. It was nice. 71 at Lake Weir, 62 for the cool spots at Ormond Beach today, 65 at Rockledge JFK Middle School, and 67 for the afternoon high today in Kissimmee. Let's go ahead and talk about current conditions at OIA this go around. Right now we're showing a reading of 69 degrees. Relative humidity is so low. Holding in at 21%. Wind tonight very gently coming in here from the north. At 3 miles per hour, barometer is rising. Dew point tonight 28 degrees, so it is so dry. Look how clear it is. Last night at this time, at least we had a little bit of cloud cover to show you tonight. There's just not much to talk about. As we fly up the coast past Titusville, you take a gander at Daytona Beach out there. Beautiful evening there. Deltona clear. It's clear all the way over to the western side of the viewing area. Temperatures tonight pretty well stuck in the upper 60s, low 70s for most of you. Statewide, this is the way things stack up. Jacksonville right now, 67. 69 in Tallahassee, 63 in Pensacola. Ocala tonight, a reading of 67 degrees. OIA again showing 69. And tonight in Melbourne, 62 is the reading. Tampa, 64, and Fort Myers, 73. Nationally, you see that storm we were just showing you? Just rocked through the Great Lakes and escaped right out to the east coast there. So it really was a clipper, a fast-moving little Alberta clipper that rolled through there and picked up enough moisture, enough steam that it put down all that snow. Now tonight, things are dry all the way from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. We have a big storm brewing out in Los Angeles. That's where they're getting the El Nino systems cranked up. Things are starting to look more and more like an El Nino winter. We talked forever through January and the first part of this month that this wasn't doing much, didn't look too much like an El Nino system, but now things are changing. It's raining very heavily in Southern California, and eventually we may end up with a wetter than normal winter also. Right now, none of that really evidence for tonight. It's going to be a beautiful evening out there with clear skies for the most part. This is the way things are going to start to change. Tonight, we're going to be on the cool side again. An overnight low tonight in Ocala down to 39, about 43 to 44 in Orlando, maybe as low as 42 depending on where you are. Tonight in Titusville, an overnight low of 47 degrees. During the day tomorrow, lots of sunshine again tomorrow. The high right back to where we are for today's high, back to about 72. But watch this. This cold front doesn't do much, but these systems out west come zipping right across the southern part of the nation. And what's happening is that they're setting up a zonal flow. As they work their way into the Gulf of Mexico, they start to gather more strength, pick up more moisture, and they bring us some rain by Sunday. Here's the forecast for tonight. Overnight low this evening, not so bad, down to 43 degrees in Orlando. We'll call it clear and cool. For tomorrow, expect the temperature to rebound back to 72 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, a beautiful day. Here's your 6-day outlook, Jackie. High tomorrow is 72. Beyond... It messed up.
Oh,
hold on. I'll get it right back. Hold on. I'm good at this. High tomorrow is going to be 72 degrees.
There you go.
Here we go. Friday, 78. Saturday, 80. And our best shot at rain is late on Sunday. The front should be to the north on Sunday, so I'm still very hopeful that race day will have no worries. No worries, he says on Wednesday.
With the fur of the eyebrow?
We'll keep you posted on that Sunday forecast.
All right, we'll watch it. Thanks, Tom. So, how much is your baby worth? To one Orlando woman, $40,310. No. She didn't sell her child. Jennifer Opper actually won her son's birth weight in gold in a beech nut contest. Wow. She entered her 7-pound, 4-ounce son in the contest. The Buy Gold, Win Gold contest was created in celebration of the 2002 Gold Medal Award the company won for its jarred baby food. This afternoon, she was presented with the check at a Publix grocery store. Not bad. Lots of diapers and food where that comes from. All right, let's see what's working for tonight's Local 6 at 6. Lauren in the newsroom.
All right, thanks, Jackie. We have new stories just minutes away at 6. Are you ready for the worst? Local leaders are reacting to a national alert. What would happen if Central Florida became a target for terrorism?
The shuttle Columbia is coming home in pieces and will be placed inside this huge hangar at the Kennedy Space Center. I'm Donald Forbes. We'll have the story coming up.
And on a lighter note, a Vegas-style wedding chapel right here in Central Florida, tying the knot with or without Elvis, without leaving your home. We have those stories, any breaking news, and sports. See you at 6.
And coming up, get ready for more Michael. Mr. Jackson is about to be everywhere again. And we've got this year's top dog who took home Best in Show at the Westminster Dog Show. You're going to find out after the break.
Chrysler announces the best values in America. Now's the time to get great products like our best-selling minivans, versatile PT Cruiser, and the powerful 300M. Great protection with our fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. And great deals like up to $3,000 cash allowance. Great products, great warranty, great deals. Add it all up and you'll get the best values in America. Hurry to your Chrysler dealer or visit Chrysler.com.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Jeep announces the best values in America. Now's the time to get great products like the award-winning 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Great protection, our fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty, and great deals, a $2,500 cash allowance or 0% financing on Grand Cherokee. Great products, great protection, great deals. All add up to the best values in America. Hurry to your Jeep dealer for details or visit Jeep.com.
Superstar Arnold Schwarzenegger in Orlando on a motivational tour of sorts. As Michelle Cimino reports, he was using his muscle to get kids pumped up about education and inner city games.
Make sure that you keep it.
Well, he told Orlando kids.
I'll be back.
And he has kept his word. After initial excitement and a few starstruck fans, superstar Arnold Schwarzenegger was ready to get to business. The actor is the chairman of the Inner City Games Foundation and a big supporter of after-school programs.
For me, it is a vision that I have.
to have every school in America have an after-school program. As much as when I came to this country, I had a vision that there are as many gymnasiums as there are supermarkets.
And Schwarzenegger says there is proof around the country that after-school programs work. That's because most teens commit crimes or get into trouble between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m. But involvement in other activities keeps them off the streets and focused.
It's just a necessity because the parents are not around as much anymore. We cannot close the schools at 3 o'clock. We should keep them open so the kids have a place where they can stay and do their homework and get their tutoring and their mentoring and all those things and do the sports.
And as long as teens and communities continue to grow their after-school programs, there is one promise this superstar says he will always keep.
I'll be back.
Michelle Cimino, Local 6.
You know who else is back? Last week's Michael Jackson interview is being milked, and it tops tonight's Spotlight. Fox is taking outtakes that it didn't make into ABC's documentary. The clips are being selected by Jackson himself. It'll be a 2-hour special titled Michael Jackson